You are Locked On Trojans Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to the Locked On USC Trojans Postcast on the Locked On Trojans YouTube channel. I am Pete Fox, back after missing last week's victory, a nail-biter in Nebraska over the Cornhuskers. We were doing Dodgers Game 7, a thriller. So, unfortunately, I did not pay very much attention. I was happy to see a win. I did read about it after the fact, but ultimately, a win is a win. And today, the Trojans came out and took care of business. It was a little tough early, a little tight earlier than we would have liked or hoped for. But nonetheless, today they get the win. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. 38-17 the final. But at the end of the first quarter, 7-7, Trojans a beautiful extended first drive, 7 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock, like 16 plays. Touchdown to Makai Lemon. And the beautiful part about that was it was a very simple play design. Go route on the outside. Lemon does the corner route, or what's that called? Slant. No, it wasn't a slant. Hook, not a hook. Up and out. That's what it was. So I think it was on the outside. Jacoby Lane went for the corner, the go route. And then Makai Lemon, an up and out. And there was not one, but two defenders there that just were caught napping. And it was an easy pass completion to Lemon for the touchdown. But it took 7+ minutes off the clock, which is always nice to see to start a game. Unfortunately, the Wildcats returned the favor on their very next drive. It came right out, slowly, methodically, drove the ball down the field, and scored a touchdown to make it 7-all. Second quarter, much of the same, back and forth. But at the end, late in the second quarter, the Trojans scored again and went into the break up 21-14, which is nice to see. So the good part about this game for me was the Trojans came in needing to stop the run. Can we say effectively that they stopped the run? Not really. But in the end, they did enough to slow down KAMARI, who had a big game with 17 carries for 118 yards and a touchdown, a long of 37. But a lot of that came early. That guy was kind of ripping off big chunks whenever he wanted to, whenever he needed them. But in the end, they only ran for 130. So they slowed them down enough to give the Trojans offense and King Miller specifically an opportunity to extend this lead. And in the end, second half, it was all Trojans. 17-3. They dominated the second half, and that is what you like to see. So we were maybe a tad bit worried. We heard from all the experts and pundits coming into this game that the Trojans better not overlook the Northwestern Wildcats. They better not take this lightly, because Northwestern is very effective at grinding you out, grinding out long drives, running the ball at will practically, and winning games that way. They call their offense inevitable, like Shohei Ohtani, the same sort of description. They want to be inevitable. That's how they describe it, that they're just going to run the ball, whether you want to stop them or try to stop them or not. But today I think the Trojans did a very nice job of that, especially in the second half. This to me felt great from the standpoint that it was tight early, it was close early, and the Trojans figured out a way to win this game comfortably. Again, 38-17, and the second half was all USC. Northwestern did not even score a touchdown. Another positive from this game is that the Trojans under Lincoln Riley since 2022 against unranked teams at home were 17-1. So now they're 18-1 and extend that lead. So lots to feel good about. A lot of positive things in this game coming off the win in Nebraska. The Trojans are now 7-2, 4-1 in the 5-1 in the Big Ten. So everything's continuing to look good right? Maaiava had not such a great game last week, but this week turned it up a notch, both throwing the ball and running the ball. I don't know about you, but that running play for Maaiava, the touchdown, he ran the ball 4 times for 10 yards, but one of them was a touchdown, and that keeper was bully ball. He just lowered his shoulder and bulldozed linebackers into the end zone. I thought that was awesome. And from the standpoint that he checked down once or twice. He surveyed the field. I mean, they were deep in the red zone. He surveyed the field and saw nothing. So he tucked and ran quickly, effectively, didn't waste any time, bounced it to the outside, lowered his shoulder, got to the house. That was sweet to see. He finished 24 of 33 for 299 yards and 2 touchdowns. King Miller, 15 touches for 127 yards, along of 57. I mean, that guy can rip off chunks, and to think he is a true freshman and the third stringer. I mean, the future in the backfield for the Trojans is absolutely shining bright. Harry Dalton, 3 touches, 19 yards. Brian Jackson, 5 for 8. It was really all about King Miller today. Makai Lemon, 1 carry for 4 yards, but it was a touchdown. Makai Lemon, again, just absolutely untouchable practically. 11 catches, 161 yards, along a 52, an average. His average, you talk to a former player or experts, when your average is 14 per, that's just unbelievable. I mean, this guy is so freaking good. I cannot wait to see him play at the next level. Jacoby Lane, a big game, 7 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Lake McCree, 3 for 52. Chinook Hines, 1 for 10. Had a touchdown, but they reversed it. Walker Lyons, 1 for 9, and King Miller, 2 for 3. So the throwing the ball was fantastic. Ultimately, I feel like the Trojans won this game because they were able to run the ball. But again, anytime you're comfortable running the ball, it's because your receiving game, you got to be balanced, right? That is a huge part of any effective offense. And you could see it at times when things were a little bit tighter. And like at the 11-minute mark of the third, there was a play action run fake to King Miller that worked like a charm. Maaiava finds Lemon, 52 yards. He was wide open and just downshifted into 4th gear and just left defenders in his wake. So, and that was largely based on King Miller's ability to run the ball. The linebackers keyed on King Miller, and it was over. And that's just what you're looking for. It shouldn't be any harder than that. So in the end, the Trojans won this game easily and comfortably. And yeah, there were times where there was maybe a bit of a threat. We were a little bit worried, but the better team won. The bigger, stronger, faster team won. Trojans 38-17. I'm Pete Fox. It's a Locked On Trojans postcast on the Locked On USC YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out Mark Culkin Monday through Friday with the Locked On Daily Trojans postcast a podcast, an in-depth examination as to what is going on in the Trojan universe. Today's episode of the Locked On Trojans postcast is brought to you by DoorDash. For your USC Trojans, King Miller delivered in a big way today. 120, was it 127? 127. Yes, 127. Makai Lemon also delivered large today, 161. And for their performances, those breakout performances, we are looking at them as the DoorDash Players of the Week. What do they call this? It's almost time for the weekend. Yeah, this is supposed to be read during the week, not on the weekend. But the breakout performance when pressure was on, Makai Lemon and King Miller came through, no hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, this performance wasn't a fluke. Makai Lemon and King Miller are on a roll. So just like those two guys, DoorDash delivers all weekend long. DoorDash streaks. You save money every Saturday when you order. Stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order tomorrow, because this Friday Night Lights, by the way. Keep this streak alive. Fuel your game day. Order with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period through November 18th. So check it out. DoorDash tomorrow. You can get all sorts of big deals and savings. So head over to DoorDash tomorrow and ask for their DoorDash streak steals. Tonight's episode also brought to you by Supply House. When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today and see parts on your doorstep as early as tomorrow. Even though tomorrow's Saturday, you're probably not working a lot, but if you ordered right now or tomorrow, you'll probably have it by Monday, no problem. With over 280,000 plumbing parts, HVAC, and electrical items for your customers. They have the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Gotta love the football puns here. So join the free Trade Masters program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line where you can talk to a human being. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use the code SHCollege5. You'll get 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. Trojans, all about a comfortable win today on Friday night. I think that has many of you a little off, not the usual for the Trojans, but cool nonetheless. I'm glad that my daughter-in-law was visiting today, and she was asking about how things were going, with Dodgers winning and what's up next. And I'm all, yeah, Dodgers are over. Now it's just football until we get basketball up and running again. So I got Trojans tomorrow. I said this today. I got Trojans tomorrow and Chargers on Sunday. And then I pulled out my phone and looked on the calendar and I was like, oh, wait, Trojans tonight. So I'm glad she asked that question. Quite possibly would have been really caught off guard by this Friday night game. The good news is the Trojans were not at all caught off guard by the Northwestern Wildcats, who came in with a 5-3 record. Trojans now have to probably move up at least a few spots, I think. Maybe not. Ranked at number 19, 38-17, the final. I think the thing we come away with feeling really good about in this game is that they still have a solid Big Ten record at 5-1. King Miller, again, running for 127 yards. Makai Lemon, a huge game, 161 and 1 touchdown. And then on the other side of the ball, Trojans played some defense. KAMARI RAMSEY just continues to impress. All 6'8" of him week after week. 6 total tackles, 5 solo. But two of the other guys that jumped off the field to me, number 22, BRAYLON CONLEY. He had 4 solo tackles, 2 in all, 1 TFL. And 1 pass defended. He was just kind of all over the field, playing with a ton of energy. And then to Carlos Nicholson, 3 tackles and 1 TFL and 2 pass defenses. So just, ball hawking all night long. So those 2 guys had a fantastic night on the field. Eric Gentry, 4 total tackles, 1 solo. He's one of those guys that's just all over the place as well, along with Bishop Fitzgerald. He had a pass defended, 4 tackles in all. So a good night defensively, although it looked kind of shaky a little bit early. A tough night stopping the run. The defensive line was a little bit struggling because these 2 guys for Northwestern can really, really run the ball. Caleb Komalafe and Robbie Preckle. I thought Preckle had way more than that. He had 5 touches for 25 yards. It seemed like he was running a lot more effectively, but Komalafe, 17 for 118. But as I said, most of those came in the first half, and the Trojans were able to, bottle it up and slow things down for him in the second half. And ultimately, you could say their defense did a nice job stopping the run, only allowing 130 in all, producing 173 on their own. So including a touchdown from both Makai Lemon and JAYDEN MAIAVA on the ground. Again, Maaiava, 24 of 33, did throw an interception, which you don't like to see, but 299, an average of 9.1 and 2 touchdowns. A really, really solid, effective performance as compared to last week when he just wasn't great. He was off. Definitely off last week. This week, he came back with a vengeance, leading the Trojans to a 38-17 win at the Coliseum over the Northwestern Wildcats. Let's hope the Trojans move up a little bit in the rankings as they get ready for number 20 Iowa next week. That is Saturday, 12:30 at the Coliseum. So back-to-back home games for the Trojans. And again, Iowa comes in ranked at number 20. And then on the heels of that one, a tough one, probably the toughest one they will face all season other than Notre Dame. They'll be at Autzen to face Oregon. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We got to worry about number 20 Iowa. Again, that's next Saturday, the 15th at 12:30. And we'll be here on the Locked On Trojans YouTube channel to break it down. A short stack of comments tonight, so I can just run through them all. Half-breed, fight on. Steve says, congrats, keep winning for my Irish. Okay. Because for those of you that are confused by that, the Irish beat the Trojans. If the Trojans keep winning, that helps the Irish in the rankings. Trojan Nation, another win. Iowa next Saturday, fight on. Angel, USC 78. Proud alum. Lincoln Riley coached a great game, according to Fishhook, 1238. And last but not least, let's go fight on. He put fight one. Gene Yamas. Let's go fight one. I know what you meant there, Gene Yamas or Llamas. Fight on. Indeed. Fight on, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate the comments. I am Pete Fox. We will talk next Saturday after the Trojans take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. And again, indeed, we all say, fight on. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. We will talk on Saturday after the Chargers, or Sunday rather, after the Chargers will face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Take care. Have a good night. Enjoy the weekend.